Twitter has chosen Ghana. Big surprise. So here's my question. If the average Nigerian would choose Ghana as their headquarters, why shouldn't Twitter? It only makes sense. You see, somebody said to me that Nigeria is bring your own infrastructure. Virgin came and did business in Nigeria. They ran. United did that direct flight from Houston. After a while, they ran. Nigerians that were born in Nigeria, after a while, they run. Why would Twitter carry their places to a country that even the country people don't want to live in? Help me understand. Why? If you give the average Nigerian a way to go and live in Ghana, when they go and live in Ghana? Maybe they were just driving us from South Africa the other day. No, it's painful, but it's true. No, it's true. And you see, what's interesting is that, like, the average Nigerian is actually corrupt. Because if you give most people opportunity to enter office, they are not entering to make change. They are entering to chop money. So the average Nigerian is actually corrupt. I mean, there was a video going around where you had the citizens talking to the people in government, talking about they are corrupt. And they were pointing out that the people are corrupt. Yeah, everybody is corrupt. Because let's be honest, our leadership is a reflection of our citizenship. Our leadership is a reflection of our people. So when we ask why our leaders are so brutal towards us, why are we so brutal towards each other? If you are watching this and you slapped your house help this year, why police no go slap you? If you are watching this and you slapped somebody at your job, why officer no go slap you? For somebody who is watching this and thinking, well, yes, like there are actually bosses who can slap. Yes, they can slap people at their jobs in Nigeria. Like, these are the human rights violations that go on in that country. We violate each other like beans every day. And then we now cry, they're violating us. And the funny thing is, this NSARS one blew up because it affected the middle class or the slightly wealthy just like it did the lower class. But there are plights of the lower class that exist in Nigeria every single day that go ignored. Now, for the person in the last video in the comments who said, you think it's funny how I'm not in the lower class, but I'm talking about the things going on with the lower class. Yeah, Dumbo, that's what an advocate does. An advocate speaks up for people who cannot speak up for themselves. So if you have an issue with somebody advocating for people who need people to speak up for them and fight for them, you might want to go and check your issues, because that's a problem. That's the problem. People should be speaking up for people who need to be spoken up for, honey. Anyway, back to the basics. We don't really have that nature as Nigerians, like caring for one another. We think we care deep down, but let's be real. Do we really care? Because the average Nigerian is inherently corrupt, or at least benefits from a corrupt society. And the average Nigerian is not really willing to hold their leaders accountable, because they know that if they hold their leaders accountable, they themselves will have to be held accountable. See, if you are held accountable, you will not be able to purchase things from a child in traffic, as I mentioned in my last video. If you are held accountable, you will not be able to pay a 12 or 13-year-old to do your hair. You know, I'm talking to you. You know, because look, guys, you know what? Let me put it into better perspective. DJ Switch gave her all her sanity, and she damn near gave her life for that country. And we watched and we cried. And in true Nigerian fashion, within a week or two, Big Brother Naija overtook NSARS on Twitter as a trend. Yeah. And she came out and she was like, what is going on? And I watched this woman and my heart was breaking, because you cannot tell me that it's not us that killed Jesus. Nigerians, I find it hard to believe. Like, I can't think of any other place where you will send them somebody to help them and they will nail that person to a cross and spit on them and tell, give us Barabbas. That's us. This babe sacrificed herself for us. And within 2 weeks, we were yelling, give us Barabbas. Everybody gave their credits. They were pressing. BB Naija was trending. And you picked your winner. And Less than what, a month ago or some weeks ago, there was a BB Nigerian person, better than winner, been a participant, me I know today follow, that told you that some of our handbags are more important than some of you, or is it more popular than some of you? That's what you people want to be hearing now. No, it must be what you want to hear. Because for us to be distracted from fighting for our lives to picking people that can shit on us is the one thing that I cannot understand. And then the thing about us is that we don't want celebrities that are kind and helpful, or else by now DJ Sweet should be like the biggest celebrity in Nigeria. No. We want the one that will shit on us and tell us that their handbag is more popular than us. That's why "Who dey Brits" is the most popular slang, right? Because Nigerians and oppression, they go hand in hand. That's our favorite. A Nigerian's favorite hobby is to oppress. That's why everybody's walking around, "Hey, Chuck." It's a cool slang, don't get me wrong, because you can catch me saying it. But our priorities warped 100%. We went back from fighting for our lives to pressing our phone and voting for BB Niger. If you are a company that is looking to invest in a West African country that will show signs of development and can show signs of growth, why would you pick Nigeria? We can't even stay focused on our human rights for 1 second because we are so focused on immediate self-gratification. We put people in office and they're looking for how to siphon funds off so that they can help themselves for immediate self-gratification. Meanwhile, they miss the mark completely that down the road, that money that you've stolen will actually affect you and your descendants. You chop money for the airport and at some point, stuff isn't going to work and you can't land planes in Lagos. Sound familiar? You chop money so much, at some point, the world might lock down and you won't be able to find healthcare outside of Nigeria, and then you will find yourself sneaking out trying to catch flights to Cuba where you can't, and then you die. And I hate to say it, God rest that man's soul, but that's what fucking happened. And we're still gonna keep this shit up? Now, granted, we can't force our dictators to do anything. Now, I call them dictators because, it's funny, right? The Nigerian form of leadership, we claim that it's a democracy, but let's be real. Even we, the people, we are dictators. Every Nigerian is just looking for who they can dictate and oppress. That's just the truth. When we look at our school systems and the prefectship and how the thing is tailored, we actually teach our children dictatorship, but then expect them to apply democracy in the real world. See, in most schools, the prefects are chosen for the students. They don't vote. So the adults choose for the students. Meanwhile, everywhere else, so they vote for their own. They're chosen for the students. And then they run the school like some kind of slave plantation where the prefects are what's that they call them? And then the students are the slaves. And then each junior student is waiting for the day. So I can't wait, man. We'll shout at junior students. I'll shout at junior. Look, bruh, I'm not even going to lie. I went to secondary school in Nigeria. The people that even in my set will even know me. By the time I reached SS3, when it was time to be shouting, "Are you mad? Line up!" I wasn't doing it. And even them, they were like, "Why won't you?" Because I'm not stupid. How can you ask people that were never taught democracy to practice democracy? Now, let it not be that I just came here shouting and ranting and I didn't provide any solutions. So if you know your child is in a private school and you're watching this video, why don't you implore that school to ensure that your children's prefectship process is run democratically so that the children can learn how a democracy functions? I really think that is a start. If your children go to private school, if your children even go to public school, you can ask, but you can't force them. However, private school, you people are giving them the money. Ask for it. Our country pretty much runs exactly like a prefectship, with each person waiting to enter and see how they can oppress, who they can oppress, and if they can out-chop the other person's... come on. The average Nigerian is inherently corrupt or benefits from corruption. If you've paid a police officer to pass through traffic, you've benefited from corruption. We need to start asking ourselves these questions, and we need to start making demands, even small demands. For example, why do we have military officers roaming the streets like we are under military regime? This is why I called it a dictatorship. Why are military officers walking around harassing citizens for wearing camouflage? Yeah. So if you wear camouflage and a military army person walks by, they can carry you at gunpoint to an ATM to withdraw money. That way you can bribe them to leave you alone. This is not made up. This is a fact. It happened to my cousin. I'm always saying it happened to my cousin. Well, I have cousins in Nigeria. It happened to them. Why are they on the streets of Lagos and everywhere else bothering people when we have terrorists in Sambisa forest that they need to be fighting? That's one thing I want to understand. In the US, we don't have army officers roaming anywhere unless there's a state of emergency. It is active duty military officials that are in the barracks, not police officers. That's another thing. Why do our police live in barracks? If our police lived amongst us like they did everywhere else, wouldn't they be more inclined to protect their community? So, in scenarios where allegedly a lot of people claim that sometimes police don't come when people call for help due to armed robbery because some of them allegedly want to enjoy the spoils of the robbery with the robbers. Allegedly. I'm a lawyer. Look, this is what I heard. The streets be talking. If a police officer lived in that community, wouldn't they be more inclined to protect that community? If we lived amongst our police, wouldn't we see each other as human beings, and wouldn't they see us as human beings? There's something about us as Nigerians where we dehumanize one another in a way that is astounding. Now, please, this is not for the people who don't do it. I don't need you in the comments talking about, actually, we are sincere. We are this, we are loving. We're not. We're not. We think we are. And our egos get ahead of us and we're always beating our chest. That is why Ghanaians are shocked when we make some of the revelations that we make. That's why Ghanaians are shocked when we want to live in Ghana, because we carry Nigeria on our heads and we act like Nigeria is the best land. And at the end of the day, we're running. So if it's so good, why are you running, boo? Why are you running? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I don't know what we can do on the grand scale of things because the rot runs deep. But like I said, our leaders and our country as it is right now is the reflection of the individuals, and we, the individuals, need to look to make a change. We need to stop all this tribalist bullshit. We need to stop all this religion crap, everybody discriminating one religion against the other. At some point, we're going to have to come to the table and start treating each other with freaking common decency. Online, in person, and in real life. Look, all the things that I've mentioned about schools, these are demands that we can make. About our police no longer living in barracks, these are demands that we can make. Our military roaming the streets, these are demands that we can make. Like, they really actually need to be deployed to the north and not in the south bothering people over some camouflage. I don't know what we can do to fix all our problems. But the one thing I do know is that eventually these old people in office will die, even though they think that they will live forever. No shade, Tinubu. They can tell anybody that they are 50, 40, 30. God does not lie. Eventually, everybody will die. Who are we going to use to replace them? We need to arm ourselves with education, integrity, and morals. We need to demand more of one another. And for those of us who can actually afford to, we need to act better and be better so that we have an example for those coming under us. We can't continue to contribute to this unethical and corrupt society. We can't continue to pour more corruption into the pot. At some point, we have to have enough. Have you guys not had enough? Literally, Nigeria is like government just watching. How much can they take? How low can they go? And they take more things from us. They take more freedoms from us. They take more things from us. And we are showing them that we are serial managers and we will take the bare minimum as long as we have our life. A life that is pretty much damn near useless for some people. No country that has gotten ahead with the people still trying to hold on to corrupt ways or not trying to do what they're supposed to do. We have to do our part. And our part begins with us demanding more, maintaining our priorities, and doing better. So, if you came back for this, share it. Don't share it. I hope this video makes a difference. And if you disagree, you can, fine, disagree. Let's not do better. But at some point, Nigeria is on the back of Nigerians. And we have to do our part. We cannot be waiting for somebody to come and save us all the time. We cannot continue to kill innovation and then wonder why nothing new grows from our dead-ass soil. Be better. We have to be the change that we want to see in the world, as cheesy as it sounds. That's the only way we're going to get ahead.